I got an update for you.
On what?
Well, I believe it was last episode. We were talking about raw dogging on the airplanes.
Starting off the show strong. Huh?
The practice, not the exercise.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So we had discussed it. Apparently, it's a new trend that popped up. People are sitting on airplane flights and just watching the front of their seat, not trying to entertain themselves whatsoever. Apparently, it's a personal record. And of course, a bunch of men are doing it because men. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, they always say
women don't do this stupid stuff.
Of course not, because women mature faster than men.
So, not a day or two later was when I found this article about a new A24 movie coming out. And the article says, "Is the new A24 movie about raw dogging on a flight?" Now, raw dogging is this is a very new trend.
A very nasty trend.
So you can't tell me that a whole movie was just like pitched like within a month, right?
Sounds disgusting.
So apparently, Deadline reported A24 is set to produce a movie called The Entertainment System is Down. It is the newest movie by Palme d'Or. He had previously directed The Triangle of Sadness.
Oh, yeah, I don't know that. Yeah.
You know what that was about? I've never heard of it.
I never saw it. I wanted to see it, though.
No?
It had Woody Harrelson in there.
Oh.
You know, everybody was on that boat?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, was it like a murder mystery or something?
I don't know.
Hold on. I gotta look that up.
It didn't stay in theaters that long.
Yeah.
It was very
weird.
weird.
Hulu thing.
Yeah.
Or no, it's not a Hulu thing. It was by Neon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember the trailer for this. It was like a weird thing. But anyway, so this is like his follow-up, I suppose. His entertainment system is down. But the plot is about a flight where all the entertainment, I guess like maybe the electronics like shut down or whatever, so they're just stuck on this like 20-hour flight with no entertainment. Keanu Reeves is supposed to act in it.
Sounds like Spirit.
Some other people. Spirit?
Sounds like Spirit Airlines.
Oh. I thought you were referring to a movie.
Oh, no.
No, the real life airlines.
Yeah, the real life Spirit Airlines.
That's funny. So this came out, and I remember stating that like I didn't believe that trend was real. Remember, I was like, this is fake. This is not a real thing. So I believe this probably is some kind of weird like in real life marketing stunt, right? Because we saw it before with It Chapter 1.
Yeah.
All the random clown sightings in like 2016 or whatever, and the next year the It movie comes out.
And then that's why they stopped McDonald's. Ronald McDonald.
Is that?
Yeah.
What?
Because it was like a lot of, I think that was the year we had like a lot of killer clowns.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the real It thing.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Because it was supposed to be like, yeah, they were low-key marketing the movie.
They were low-key marketing the movie. So I think McDonald's was like, well, let's kind of...
Oh, yeah, you're right. You make clowns scary,
yeah.
So we got to get rid of Ronald McDonald for a while.
Let's distance ourselves from him.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting times. But it made me go look up like what other weird marketing campaigns that films have done, or like to see if there's any other examples of these like quote unquote in real life trends or in real life things, and then it turns out to be a marketing thing for movies.
Oh, that's a whole bunch I can name, but what you got?
Yeah. So right in the number one spot, we have the Bee Movie. I guess like Jerry Seinfeld like ziplined across like some buildings dressed as a bee.
I remember that.
The next one is for House of Wax. They promoted that Paris Hilton was going to be in the movie, but they promoted that she was going to get killed off because this is like early 2000s. Like,
did she die like 5 minutes into the film?
Yeah, she died super early.
Yeah,
but they were like selling T-shirts and all kinds of stuff like "See Paris Die," and this is how they marketed the movie. They're like,
smart.
Hey, yeah, it's like because everyone hated Paris Hilton at the time. She was doing all kinds of shenanigans. Show. Yeah, which later we found out was also like kind of fake, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So that was a big thing they were doing for that movie. Bruno, when Sacha Baron Cohen was marketing Bruno.
I think that was the best one.
Where he flew into the MTV Movie Awards and like sat on Eminem.
Yeah, and then Eminem got up like he was like
he
really,
was very
really upset.
Yeah.
But you know what? So let me ask you a question. Do you think that was real? Like him being upset when he got up and left?
It's possible, but also Eminem has a sense of humor.
He does.
I don't think people realize like how much of a sense of humor Eminem actually has.
He does.
You know, especially when you look at like the Slim Shady stuff, right? And I mean, he's done movies with like Adam Sandler and stuff before. He's played silly roles.
I've heard many people say that it was fake and it was staged when he got up and left.
Yeah.
So he blurs the line, so you never know.
You're right. He like it's weird because he does play it real straight, but he does do comedy. He does do like bits.
He does.
You know?
But that was a good one. Though. I do remember that one.
Right, and also Sacha Baron Cohen. He's like the king of impromptu like in real life stunts.
I saw that live, man. That was a crazy.
I did
crazy.
too. I think. Yeah.
Back when MTV Awards were actually good.
Yeah. Back when they had an award show.
I remember that one too. I saw that one live. That at the Oscars.
Yeah, where Sacha Baron Cohen again shows up at the Oscars with the urn with Kim Jong Un's ashes.
No, that was real. Ryan Seacrest was mad.
Oh yeah,
yeah, he was hot.
That's hilarious. But yeah, he dumped it all over Ryan Seacrest.
Mm-hmm. He was pissed because he was like, he laughed it off. He played it off very professional. But Ryan was mad. He was hot.
That's funny. Again, very Sacha Baron Cohen.
Oh, yeah,
right?
of course.
Yeah. So this next one I found quite entertaining. So after reviewing 1943's The Outlaw, Joe Breen, who enforced the Hays Code in Hollywood. So this is like back early days Hollywood, right?
Yep.
Back in the day. He ordered Howard Hughes to remove dozens of unacceptable shots of the lead actress's like breasts. Because I guess she was like bare-breasted in the movie quite a bit. And so Howard's response to that was hiring a skywriter to write the movie's title and then draw 2 circles with dots in the center representing boobs to promote
funny.
the movie.
That's kind of hilarious. I like that.
Yeah. And then The Dark Knight had
What was the Dark Knight one?
It says, ahead of the movie's 2008 release, The Dark Knight's marketing campaign centered around the alternate reality game Why So Serious? Their main goal was to get people to see Brokeback Mountain. Oh, sorry. Their main goal was to see Heath Ledger as the most iconic, most evil villain. So after releasing I Believe in Harvey Dent promotional posters, which that was another thing they did. Yeah, I remember those.
Mm-hmm.
Introducing Aaron Eckhart's casting, the team secretly spread out Joker cards bearing the message I Believe in Harvey Dent 2.
Yeah, I do remember that. Okay.
Outside of major comic book shops, they also hid the cards in new Batman comics and old graphic novels.
Man, that was such a good year. Man. I was so excited for that movie.
Yeah.
Did you see this movie theater?
Dark Knight? Yeah, I did.
Dude, I was so hyped for this movie, man.
It was a great movie. The only thing that bummed me out was they killed Two-Face.
Yeah.
They both did his origin, and then they killed him off.
Well, that was that continuation of killing villains in the superhero films, right? But that was good, though. That was really good. I like that one.
Yeah, that was a great movie. And The Dark Knight Rises was such a disappointment.
It was.
In comparison.
Big time letdown.
The Blair Witch Project. Basically, they had 16 hours of unused footage from the movie. So they would post weekly online episodes that would like establish the backstory. And then they also sent interns in the clubs and coffee houses to ask other young people what they knew about the Blair Witch. So they would like send people out to talk about the Blair Witch and like kind of stir up rumors of, I guess, like the mythology of the Blair Witch.
See, that's the one I don't remember because I didn't really too much care for Blair Witch.
I never watched it.
The first one or the second one?
Neither one, really.
Oh, you never watched it?
No.
See, the second one was crazy.
Yeah.
That was insane.
That was like real recent too. Wasn't it like a couple years ago?
No. The second one came. Well, they did a reboot.
Oh, they did. Okay.
But, the second one came out like in the late 2000s. Oh, yeah, I remember that one. About to look at the one, Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was reading it real quick. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Will Ferrell apparently had an acceptance speech that was with Aubrey Plaza that was apparently a part of a stunt for a movie called The To-Do List, which I never heard about.
Yeah, I remember that movie. Never saw it, but I remember it.
Yeah. Oh, she had it written across her chest. So she's like ran out and okay. Mm-hmm. In 2009, Joaquin Phoenix claimed that he was giving up acting to pursue a hip-hop music career. God, man. He took on an unusual persona as he convinced the host of his new career path. A year later, director Casey Affleck, who'd been following Joaquin and filming him, admitted that it was all for their mockumentary, I'm Still Here. Jesus. That's hilarious.
That is hilarious, but I do remember that. Joaquin Phoenix was always weird to interview.
Yeah. Well, he's also just like a very good character actor or method actor, right? Because, I mean, look at Joker. He lost like a crazy amount of weight for that.
And David Letterman was always good at kind of maneuvering around the craziness of these type of people.
Yeah. This one I found interesting. So the weekend before Independence Day was released, they did like a fake news story about aliens invading in like 1996. Really? Yeah. It says Fox aired a half-hour special about the movie. However, the first 10 minutes of the broadcast was a fake news report that made an alien invasion similar to the events of the movie seem real. Right. That reminds me of World of Worlds. Like way back in when they did radio plays a lot more. And this was back before like breaking news and all that stuff. This is like newspaper days still, right? They aired War of the Worlds, and they did it in such a convincing way that people actually thought that Earth was being invaded because it was like a news report. Like the way the book and stuff is written is like a news report. So it's like, oh, New York we've lost contact with New York, and
can't do that now.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
Well,
now.
you can't get away with it because like obviously you check Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and people are like, oh,
no, you can't get away with that for the simple fact that people actually will believe it.
I don't know if people will believe it as much. They believed it back then. People killed themselves from the War of the Worlds thing.
I can believe that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember this Independence Day. Well, see, I'm learning something.
Yeah.
Because, you know what, as nostalgic as I am, a 90s kid as I am, I don't remember this.
I never heard about this either.
I remember when I saw Independence Day on 4th of July. That was a dope day. But I'm just like, man, I don't remember that. That's cool. I'm going to have to watch that now. I know it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
I know I can probably watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, probably so. Actually, let's see if we can pull it up now.
That is cool, man. Aha. Yeah, this is it.
This is the World News Network with Barry Nolan. Good evening on this most historic day, and in case you've just tuned in, brace yourself. You are looking at live coverage as several alien spacecraft, alien spacecraft, are hovering above major world cities, including Washington, D.C., New York, Los Angeles, Moscow, Paris, and London. Throughout the day, we've been watching in a kind of horrified wonder as the craft first began appearing around the globe. Although there have been no communications from the visitors, Washington officials are quick to assure us that there is present.
I got to watch this later today. I know it sounds lame, but I like watching marketing like this. 'Cause I remember back in the day when marketing, I don't know if we're talking about this, but I remember when they had marketing like this.
Yeah.
Like if you was a little kid and you saw this on TV.
Oh, your mind would be blown.
Your mind would be blown.
What? Yeah.
We don't do this anymore. Like now we're just a bunch of leaks and stuff.
Well, we do and we don't. You know,
we do.
You got to do it a certain way because, like the raw dogging thing, right?
Oh, like
the clowns or what else?
Megan. Remember Megan? They had like the androids. Oh no, what's that movie that came out? I don't know why. The Creator. They had at football stadiums. They had people dressed up like androids. I don't know.
Really?
And it was at football stadiums, and people were like, "What's going on?"
Oh wow, I didn't know about that. I'd never heard about that.
And then you had girls that was dressed up like Megan at baseball games.
Oh wow.
And then you had for what's that? Smile. You had people in the football stands and baseball stands
doing the smiles.
But just randomly smiling.
That's crazy.
So
I didn't know about that. Like that, I didn't know like sporting events. They just like
that's the best way to market.
Planted in there. Yeah, that's true.
Because everybody watch sports, so it's the best way to do it.
So people, they show the crowd occasionally, right? So they'll like pick them out. They're like, what's up with that guy?
Yep.
It's funny because it's also, I don't know, it's such weird marketing because it's not directly telling you about the movie.
It's not.
But it's like subliminal.
Yeah. But that's the best.
Almost manipulation. Yeah. And then like 3 or 4 months later, you start seeing trailers for a movie similar to that premise. And you're like, oh, that's like that one time.
Yeah.
Like I bet they made a movie about it. And then you go see it. But really it's all been part of the plan. Like the raw dogging.
The raw dogging. It's kind of like when you and Khadijah went to California. You saw the Fall Guy.
Yeah.
And they did like promotions for it. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
It's like different promotion markets and stuff for it.
Yeah. Well, like the stunt show did a Fall Guy stunt show before the Waterworld thing.
See, now you kind of give me wanting to see this raw dogging movie, which I never thought I'd say in my wildest dreams, a grown-ass man saying I want to see a raw dogging movie, but you kind of made me want to see it with all the marketing.
Well, I mean, hey, apparently, I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but I believe it's true because I don't think anybody's sitting on a plane for 7 hours, like, just doing that for fun. You know what I mean?
I hope not. But you know the type of world we live in. So
yeah. See, in 1992, Paramount promoted Cool World with mixed animation and live action by placing a 75-foot steel cutout of Hollywood, the cartoon main character, on top of the D in the Hollywood sign.
Such a bad movie.
Oh, yeah. That was like Brad Pitt, right?
Oh, man. I could do so much story. I could do a story about this movie.
Cool World?
Yeah, man. Because, the artist behind it was one of my... I'm not going to say he's one of my favorite artists.
Yeah.
Because, his animation was very controversial.
Oh, yeah?
And his animation movies are very controversial and very racist. To an eye. To an eye.
To an eye. That's interesting.
Yeah, I could do a whole story on that one.
Who's the artist?
I forgot his name. I'll have to get it. around the next show.
Hold on.
You want to talk? You want to Google it up real quick? Yeah, he was famous, man. He had a lot of good work. What's that guy's name?
Ralph, is it Ralph
Yep.
Bakshi?
Yep, Ralph Bakshi, man. I don't know.
Ralph Bakshi.
Are you familiar with his work?
No, not at all.
Oh man, you got to dig it
Oh,
up.
Fritz the Cat,
Uh-huh.
the Lord of the Rings cartoon.
Not for kids. Fritz the Cat is
Oh, yeah.
the most horrible. It is the most deplorable artwork you'll see.
Yeah,
But it's
Fritz the Cat was bad.
one of the best movies you will see, in a way.
Okay.
And originally, when he did Cool World, he wanted to do something that was a little bit more, friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And the studios wanted to do something a little bit different in mind.
Yeah.
So you remember Roger Rabbit, right?
Yeah.
Who framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah.
It was supposed to be in the frame of that. Studios
Really?
wanted something. They wanted that type of movie, like a Roger Rabbit type movie. And if you know anything about Ralph Baggio, this guy, his artwork does not entail that type of stuff.
Oh man.
So this movie it could have been a whole lot worse than what you're looking at it now. I'm tell you that right now. It could have been a lot worse.
Interesting.
Dude was talented, man. Like he was really, really talented.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just animation alone back in those days was always really good.
Because he was trying. I don't want to put off the racist label on him, but it's just that's what he's perceived to have been.
That's what he's become known
Yeah,
for.
because he's known for.
Because things don't age well,
Exactly.
right? So I mean, over time, it's like, oh, this is actually kind of not okay.
And it's another guy too that she's also do the same type of artwork. Now he was racist, and his artwork was horribly deplorable. His depiction of black people were even 10 times worse.
Damn. This is some deep cuts.
Oh yeah, it's something. Yeah, Coon. Yeah, that was pretty.
Yeah, I was gonna let you say the title. I'm not saying the title.
Jacob.
But okay. So one of the last ones on this article is for 2001's movie Blow, starring Johnny
I
Depp.
do remember that.
They would hand out replica cocaine cutter mirrors at sporting events.
I
to
remember
promote the
that.
films, sporting events and bars. They would just give people these little cocaine mirrors. So I mean, hey, I guess if you were doing coke in 2001, it was probably a good year for you.
Yeah, they got in trouble for that too. I heard.
I'm sure they did. Yeah, that's paraphernalia,
Yeah.
right? Oh, this one was interesting too. Psycho, Alfred Hitchcock. So back in the day, movies used to play on a continuous loop.
Mm-hmm.
They would never there would be no show times. You would just go in, catch a movie from wherever it's at, and then if restart it, I guess.
So much easier.
Yeah, and so Alfred Hitchcock, because he made Psycho, and minor spoilers for Psycho, I suppose, if you haven't seen it. The main character dies in the first 10, 15, 20 minutes of the film.
Shocker,
right? That
shocker.
iconic scene where she's screaming in the shower. That happens very early on. Well, obviously, Alfred Hitchcock didn't want that to be spoiled for people coming in later or before or whatever. So he made the movie theaters put in showtimes.
Oh, okay.
He's responsible for the showtimes that we have now. It's such a norm now, but back then that was the first time it had ever been done.
It's a pretty good topic, man.
And the theater owners were against it at first, but then they saw the lines going around the block for this movie, and they were like, "Oh, this is great. This works out really well for us." And then ever since then, they kept doing it.
So basically, Alfred Hitchcock is responsible for showtimes.
Yeah, essentially. So, but that makes sense because he was such a pioneer of the movie movie
without
industry.
doubt.
Back in the day. I mean, the way he would promote his movies too, and his trailers would just be him walking around the movie set, and he's like, "Oh, what happens here? You don't want to know. Some horrible things happen in this scene," and then we'd go to the next scene, and he's like, "Oh, the shower, ooh," and that
That's how
got
he
people
did.
interested in the movie.
Well, that's how he did for Birds. When I first saw Birds, I saw a trailer for it,
Yeah.
and he did it like that. It's another movie too, Citizen Kane. He didn't do that movie, but it was a trailer. I remember trailers used to be so different back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh man, even in the 70s, they were still different.
Oh yeah, they had different feel, different vibe, different overall. It depends. Sometimes you can still catch those old school vibes, like
Sometimes.
Nosferatu, right?
Yeah.
Nosferatu trailer was really great. The Long Legs trailer
Long
was
legs.
really
I was
great.
about to say long legs.
But then you have other trailers where it just gives you the whole plot,
Gives you everything.
and it's weird because I don't know how exactly they decide these things because they send the footage to editing houses, and then the editing house cuts a trailer together. So I don't know if they send over notes and they're like, "We want these scenes," or or how exactly it's done.
Well, it's kind of like that movie that I just got through talking about on YouTube comments, and everyone agreed with me. This is a movie with Mark Wahlberg that's coming out where he's supposed to be like killer on the plane.
Oh, Flight Risk? Is that what it's
Flight
called?
Risk? And it just gave you the whole movie
Yeah.
in the trailer. I was like, well, damn. It's Topher Grace is in it too.
I didn't watch the trailer because in the thumbnail, like Mark Wahlberg looks bald or balding. I don't know what's going on with his hair in that movie, but I did not want to watch the trailer.
Even in the thumbnail, it gave you the whole film. Like, just you saying that just gave you the whole film. Because Topher Grace is in the plane.
Yeah.
He's going to prison for something. We don't know what. But then Mark Wahlberg is just like this mysterious flight guy, and the U.S. Marshal.
Like a flight marshal?
Like a flight marshal. And she's like, I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah.
He looks a little weird too. Meanwhile, Topher Grace is in the back looking like, who's this guy? So it's like, and then within minutes, you find out Mark Wahlberg is not who he is, and he's a killer. I'm like, well, you just pretty much told the whole film.
Right?
I was like, oh man, I was so good on that film. I was like, I don't want to see this.
Oh, I didn't bother with that trailer.
Oh, well, you've been disappointed.
Yeah.
You've been pissed.
It's also Mark Wahlberg. I don't know. I don't hold Mark Wahlberg to a high degree.
Well, I don't
in
either.
filmmaking.
But I'm just like, the balls on you guys to just reveal the whole film within 2 minutes.
That's what they like to do.
But yeah, I would definitely want to see this raw dogging thing. Now that you
The
got-
raw talking movie.
Back to the raw dogging.
I love Jacob and James On The Go podcast because I can like listen to it in the car or at home or like on the go. It's just super easy. You know what I mean?
All right, James. Quiet Place came out over the
Did it?
weekend. Last weekend? Yeah. I was able to see it. Were you able to see it?
Yes, I was.
All right, so I'll let you go. What did you think of this film? Or what do you think of Quiet Place in general?
So the first film I saw, it was John Krasinski as his first film that he first directed, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he directed the first and the second.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first one I thought was really, really good. It was interesting from the first trailer. Talk about a movie that didn't give you too much.
Yeah.
That trailer didn't give you anything. It just gave you the family in the house. They were quiet. They were playing dice.
I remember
And all
that
of a sudden-
trailer, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It had you intrigued from the jump. Then something drops on the floor. I think the little lanyard.
The lantern.
Lantern.
It's a lantern. They
Yeah.
knock it over.
They knock it over, and then everyone's trying to cover it up. And then you start hearing creaks at the door. And it was just, from there, you were hooked. And you like, I got to see this movie. I really, really liked the first one. I thought it was innovative. It was something different that we never seen before. The second one, I thought it was good, not great. I didn't think it was better than the first one. But I still enjoyed it. Cillian Murphy was in there.
Right.
And he was really, really good in there as well. With the third one, well, I thought we were going to figure out a little bit more about their origin, about these things, about what they are, where they come from, why are they here.
It didn't tell you that.
And we didn't get any of that. It's just pretty much, we kind of get dropped right into the action. Now, I will say, Lupita Nyong'o, I liked her story. I loved her story, and I loved the beginning of what was going on with her. And then we end up running into my man, I'm blanking on my name.
Joseph Quinn.
Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things. Mm-hmm. And their chemistry is dynamic between the both of them.
Oh, yeah, they were great.
They were great. I thought the movie was a great summer blockbuster.
Yeah, right.
I didn't learn anything different, but sometimes you don't need to learn anything different.
No, I do agree. I really enjoyed this film.
Keep it a mystery.
I think I liked it. I liked it more than the other two.
Okay.
I think this, out of the three, this would probably be my favorite one.
All right.
Yeah, it's also like strangely artistic, right? Because
That's what I was about to say. It doesn't feel like a horror movie all the
no,
way.
not entirely. It's very artistic. Like there's like this piano score that kind of plays in like the more sentimental moments. Mm-hmm. Very, very great score.
Yep.
Very beautiful piano. The main theme of the movie seems to be about just human connection in general, because like you have these two strangers who are going through this weird sort of alien invasion, but also not quite.
Yeah.
They're just trying to survive, and really one of them is trying to survive to a certain extent.
And the other one is trying to get pizza.
Yeah,
That's
right.
her goal.
It's a quest movie, right?
It's a quest movie.
It's not even about survival or getting out of the city in a way. It's more about like I want to get pizza.
Yeah.
Like the world's going into chaos. Let's go get some pizza.
And once you watch the movie, you'll understand why
Right.
she wants to just get pizza.
Right. And I'll have the spoiler bot come in here so we can talk about spoilers because I do want to get into more.
You
of
want to
this.
get into spoilers?
Oh yeah, oh
Okay.
yeah.
This is an on-the-go spoiler alert. You have now been alerted.
So I like that they didn't go into any more of the aliens. Like I know you said you kind of wanted more, or you were kind of expecting more.
Little bit.
But I like the fact that by the end of this movie, it's pretty much confirmed that these aliens are not evil.
Yeah.
They're probably not good either, right? It seems like they're either parasites or potentially kind of like cattle from another world, right? It's just they got dumped off on Earth. If you really want to think about it, maybe they were being transported and the ship got blown up, and that's how they got on Earth. If you want to add to that story yourself, I don't think the movie needs to.
No, because I feel like once you add all that
You get
extra
convoluted.
stuff on there,
It's a very basic alien movie. It's like, hey, these aliens land on Earth. They don't like things very loud. They're very sensitive. They're basically ear monsters, and they will kill you if you make a noise. And that's it. That's all you need to know. There's nothing more else to it. But I thought it was cool. They just land it, and that's all it is. Like, there's no rhyme or reason for this happening. It just happens. Like,
Sometimes you don't need that.
they're not evil. They're not great because obviously they're killing the humans, and in this story, the humans are the protagonists and they're the antagonists. But they're not like the alien from Aliens or a Predator, you know,
or Independence Day.
yeah, or Independence Day. The whole story with her and the pizza, I found that also kind of refreshing because it's like, oh, she really is just about getting this pizza, and then like that's it because she's already dying. She's got some sort of cancer.
Yep.
You know, there's this whole emotional thing with like this connection with her father. Her father played piano at this place, and she wanted to get this pizza from this pizza place that they always went to. And then this poor guy, he's not even from America, first of all. He's from London, which Khadidra's thoughts and theories on that was he wanted to be a magician, and his family was like, no, you're going to go be a lawyer. And so they sent him to America to become a lawyer. Because he makes some like statement about like this wasn't part of the plan, right?
Yep.
And he does that magic trick in the bar towards the end of the movie. And so Khadidra was just like, oh, he wanted to be a magician. And I was like, all right, well, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, that part was kind of weird. I will admit that.
Yeah, it was weird. But, again, human connection, right? It's just they're connecting in this bar with the pizza. They finally got the pizza. It wasn't even the pizza that she wanted.
No.
But he went and found her pizza.
Because the other place that they went to, the original place,
Burned up, gone.
burned down.
What did you think of the service cat in this film?
Okay, so all I kept hearing was about this cat. I was trying to stay off the line because I was like, what's everybody keep talking about this cat? Yeah, and I was just like, I want to figure it out for myself. And I thought the cat was pretty much the star of the show. Believe it or not, it's pretty much like besides the two human interactions, the cat was smart.
Yeah,
it was smart as a whip.
Very smart.
And it wasn't like most movies that you see where the animal is always caught up in these dumb situations and the human has to go get it.
Well, there was one situation where it was like in the nest, right? Like, which that's the only part of the movie that really kind of bothered me was this. So Joseph Quinn's character, he goes to get some medicine for Lupita because again she's like dying of some sort of cancer or whatever. So he goes to get her some medicine, and while he's out, the cat shows up.
Yeah,
and like on the way back, the cat gets into a nest of the creatures. And then Joseph Quinn, for some reason, is just like, well, I got to go get the cat. The cat would have been fine. 100%. The cat would have been okay.
Oh, without a doubt.
Like, it was not in any danger. It made it this far. It's got, like, they've got separated from the cat before, and he showed back up.
Well, you know what? They did that for a reason. They
Suspense,
did that.
And they needed something else.
You need that little part to show you, like, oh, okay. To get to this point, that's what you need.
And also, they didn't stick around with it for too long, but they showed, didn't. Like, a really giant, like, one of those things.
It was something.
It was like an alpha version.
Is that what it was?
That's what it seemed like to me, right? But they never showed it back again. It's not like they go and fight it. It's not like the military goes and blows it up or whatever. We don't see it anymore. So I think that was like a nice little addition to like show that like, oh, there's bigger ones out there,
which was pretty cool. A sidebar. The whole time I was watching the cat, I was like, Jacob's cats would have been dead.
Oh yeah.
Your cats would have never made it.
Oh yeah, for sure. We were talking about that on the way home. They were like, "Oh, our cats wouldn't have done very good."
Even my homeboy Darius, his cat would have never made it either.
Yeah, I am glad they didn't make it like the focal point of the movie.
Me too.
I suppose, or in a way where it's like, oh, this cat keeps running away, and we got to go find. Like the cat does run off a couple times, but it links back
finds
up with
its
them
way
at
back.
one point. Yeah, and then the whole thing with it, like them being in the city, it wasn't too much different from the other movies in a way,
No.
right? Because it's just crazy for the first 5 minutes when they first land and trash everything, but then after that, everyone kind of figures out a little quickly like what they're about. But there are scenes in this movie where, like, I don't know, they're trying to get through somewhere and they knock something over, and then the creatures start lurking around, and then instead of just sitting still for 5 minutes, they continue forward and they try to like sneak past the monster, and that irked me in the theater because I'm just like, if you guys would just sit still. Like there's that scene
go
where they're in
away.
the revolving door,
Oh yeah, I remember
and he
that,
keeps
yeah.
pushing it, and he knocks over like a briefcase or whatever, and I'm just like, if you would just sit in that revolving door for like 5 minutes.
Because it was gonna walk right past.
Yeah, but also it's because it's a prequel. You have to remember, it's like, okay, well, they don't really fully know how these things work. I assume at this point they kind of get like sound, obviously, but I guess to a certain extent they don't exactly know, you know, the full amount of their hearing abilities. They didn't even know they could see.
I was
They
about
couldn't
to say,
see at one point.
They can't see. They can't swim.
Right,
We found that out.
right.
We also saw now in the prequel.
Well, we knew that from the second one.
Yeah, we knew that in the second one,
Yeah.
and we also knew too from the first one, waterfall. If there's rain or anything like that.
So they showed that in the first one too.
Yeah, they should. Remember they were talking. I think it was John Krasinski
Yeah.
character and his son. They were talking under a waterfall.
See, I don't remember that. It's
Yeah.
because when I saw that in this movie, because they do it a few times. Like it's like raining and they're talking under the rain,
Yep,
or like they're sitting in a fountain, or even like a thunderstorm comes through, and that's when they know they can make
Yep.
big noises.
Yeah, they did the first one.
I thought that was a new addition.
No,
Okay, see,
Yeah.
I didn't remember that. I was like, oh, this is kind of a new thing. I don't remember seeing. Maybe because they didn't show it as much in the other ones.
they didn't.
But this one, it's a kind of a main thing in this film. Is like it shows them able to have a conversation more
Because
that
immediately,
way.
when they did that, I was like, oh, I forgot. Yeah, they can talk when it's raining. They
Yeah.
can talk. Yep.
That's
I thought
cool.
that
I
was
didn't
cool.
I didn't know it was in the other ones, but I liked seeing that more because at least it's like, okay, cool. They're not just like whispering and silent
not a
sign
silent
language
film.
the whole time.
Mhm.
Yeah. So interesting fact is like this was not directed by John Krasinski this
Yeah, it
time. It
wasn't.
was somebody else, which off the back of If, which is a very melodramatic
It was.
child's movie. It's about death and accepting bad things happen while you have a goofy imaginary friend around. I was watching this one and I was like, is John Krasinski okay? before I like watched the credits, I was like, is he doing all right? He seems to be making these sad movies. Like the main character in this movie has cancer. Like
Yeah.
she's dying, actively dying, and we already did the spoiler bot thing. So she dies at the end of this. Right? She actively lets herself get taken by the monsters, which I like the way they did it
Me too.
because I thought they were going to repeat the first one where
Oh,
she
with
just
John-
yells
yeah.
because there's that scene where like she's trying to get all the monsters to chase after her, and then there's that part where they start chasing after Joseph Quinn, and then you see her turn around. And I was like, oh man, she's gonna scream, and we're gonna see her get like pile drive by these things. No, they didn't do that. She was walking down Harlem, like playing some music or whatever. That's how she went out, and it was like this beautiful like letter that she wrote to Joseph Quinn, like she narrated over, and that was like a really nice, touching ending.
And she also gave him his jacket, that she had on in
Yeah,
the movie.
yeah. So he could be seen when he jumps in the water.
Yep.
Right. Because there was a boat. Which, by the way, those freaking boats, they annoyed me because they were just like sitting there blowing the horn. I was like, you're trying to save people, and you want people to come to you.
I can't come to y'all when they.
You got all these monsters around here, yeah.
Like they're hearing the noise. They're like, well, we can't come near that.
But again, that comes from the fact that like they don't fully understand how these things work. You know, like the military at the beginning of the movie, they would fly by like every 30 minutes or whatever, just announcing like, "Hey, evacuate over here."
All type of noise.
And then every time they did, there's just like a stampede of these creatures.
They're like roaches crawling up a wall.
Yeah, and you would see some helicopters got some helicopters.
Oh,
There
yeah,
were
a
like
couple of
debris all over the place.
I thoroughly enjoyed this film.
I thoroughly enjoyed it as well. I thought it was a great movie, great addition to the Quiet Place lore. Khadija and I were talking like I don't necessarily need to see another one.
Truly, we really don't. 'Cause
I mean,
don't
we
want-
didn't even
yeah.
need this one, honestly.
We really
Right,
didn't,
you-
but it was cool though.
Yeah, and as far as like origins or prequel movies go, this was kind of different. I mean, it's the same but different, right? Because obviously it shows them landing, but it doesn't do like what you said and show the origin of these creatures. It doesn't like we still don't know where they came from. This could have just been another movie in the franchise, honestly.
So I think I forgot how the second one ended.
The second one ended with them figuring out that like high frequency sounds actually kills them.
Yeah.
Right. The daughter figured that out, and in the end, because they got separated, they were still separated.
Yeah, they got separated. It was on the train.
Yeah, and they were still separated. So it basically showed that they figured out how to like kill the monsters. And so what I would like to see is maybe if they do a third one, is just now that they know this, maybe show them try to like rebuild society a little bit, and then like you can show that they have a border and they have like these sound devices to keep the things away. I think that would be a nice touch.
I definitely could see that.
Because
I could definitely see that.
Because society's got to rebuild a little bit. I don't see them. Or maybe do like a military thing where it's like it's been a couple years, and so like slowly they've been able to like fight back. That would be nice. I just don't know where else you would take it outside of like, more development.
Well, I mean, I definitely think this is probably the last one that we get.
Yeah,
because it's got to be a continuation from the second one.
Yeah,
I don't know why the reason that this one was ever made, but I don't think we'll ever get the answer to that one.
No,
but I thoroughly enjoyed. I'm not gonna say this is probably the best trilogy I ever saw, but I will say this is probably the best one in the franchise.
You're right. Not the best like trilogy out there.
Yeah,
but
I've definitely seen better.
This out of origin films or prequel movies, this is pretty high up there on the list, I think, because most prequel movies, like you kind of know how it's gonna end. I mean, you also kind of know how this ends in a way.
Like Planet of the Apes. Planet of the Apes was a good trilogy.
Yeah,
the one that Matt Reeves did.
Yeah,
and then I thought this one was a great entry.
Less so of a prequel, but more of just an entry.
Hey, Squirpses, you know what time it is?
Time to run my belly button bundles? Is that what time it is?
No, Squirpses. It's time for Jacob and Jim's On The Go podcast.
That's my favorite. I love watching them. Oh, yeah.
Before we get started with the trailer park, James, I it's come to my attention. I need to explain what the trailer park is.
Really?
Yeah. A listener had told me that it took him a long time to realize the trailer park meant that we're just watching trailers because he thought it was a bit. He's like, "Oh yeah, it took me forever to realize." And I was like, "What is this bit that you keep doing?" And he's like, "Oh, trailer park. I get it now. Trailer park is a fictional place we go to watch trailers. We don't actually go to a trailer park. We just talk about trailers, and I thought it was a fun little gimmick. So I just want to leave it at that, guys. We're watching trailers.
It's nothing serious.
So, I'll save Hellboy for last because that's kind of like one of the bigger ones, I suppose. Childish Gambino's got a movie
I saw
coming out. The World and Brando Stone or something, or Brando Stone Against the World.
Looks to be like another apocalypse type movie.
Did you watch the trailer at all?
Yeah, I saw it.
What did you think?
I thought it was creative. That's why I love Donald Glover so much.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm sorry, a.k.a. Childish Gambino, but yeah.
He's slated as Childish Gambino.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, you're right. But I thoroughly enjoyed the trailer. I can't wait to watch it. It's going to be in IMAX, too, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah. So I'm going to watch it in there.
See, I don't know. I watched it, and I wasn't as excited for it. I don't know. It just seems like he's 40 years old?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
See, I'm always excited when I see this guy. Because I love to see him in anything.
No, I mean, I understand that. I know he is a good actor, and he's done good things in the past and stuff. It's not like it's nothing against him. It's just the trailer itself. I don't know. For me, it just seems like another like generic, maybe not generic, but like one of those like end of the world alien kind of movies. Because it seems like there's alien elements. Something about like they can't move at night.
Yeah. Because so when you watch a movie like Quiet Place, and then you watch this, and you're like,
very different tones.
Two different tones, but what are you going to do differently that we didn't see from Quiet Place?
Yeah, or any other kind of like alien movie, alien apocalypse movie.
True.
Yeah, because there's like random like alien lights going on. There's running in the nighttime. He's like an actor
Yeah.
or a musician. I think he's a musician in this movie, right? He wakes up. There's nobody else around. Everything's just kind of weird. He meets
Tries
his
on the
girl.
clothes at these at the market.
Yeah,
Spam hat.
he meets his girl and I guess her kid or little brother or whatever, and she kind of explains the rules to him.
It looks to be kind of independent too, because it's like RCA.
RCA, I
It's
saw
like,
that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So it probably is. It's probably a smaller independent film. They're getting attacked by like giant boars. Also, yeah, weird creatures and stuff are showing up in this movie.
Charles
Weird
Gambino.
mirror dimension. I don't know. It's very odd. It looks entertaining at the very least.
I mean, he always seems to do these kind of like odd end type movies. Like I remember he did Gulf Island. Was it? I think it's called Gulf Island. Rihanna. And that was on Amazon Prime. It was
Really?
like a short film.
Interesting.
And then let's see, what else did he do? He always tends to do these type of movies. I think the last thing he did was Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Which I
yeah,
enjoyed
the series.
Yeah,
You were
which
telling me about that one.
which I actually did enjoy.
Yeah, I forgot he did that.
Yeah,
That was recent. That was real recent.
Mhm. That was real recent.
I mean, nothing against him. It's just like for me personally, I was like, okay, I feel like I've kind of seen this tone of a movie before.
I understand. I get
Yeah.
it.
So next up, I have HBO's not HBO, Amazon's Batman Cape Crusader.
Yes.
It's not an HBO show because for some reason HBO doesn't believe in, or Warner Brothers doesn't believe in their products and keeps selling their stuff to other people.
I'm glad they did because we getting. I think we'll get something real good on our hands.
Oh, this looked amazing. It's
Oh yeah.
Bruce Timm's behind it, the original animated series guy.
Shot 1940s style, which I
Yeah,
love.
the old school style. It almost looks like the animated series as well. Like it's the same kind of tone and look. Something that I really liked out of this was the villains seem like they're gonna have like real different takes and real different versions.
Yep.
Like it looks like Harley Quinn comes first in this because she's called the Jester.
Yep. Which I like.
Yeah. It looked like Two-Face's face looks like real gnarly because they briefly show it. I don't know. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay.
This is more of an adult take.
Yeah, very, very adult. The Penguin's going to be involved. I think Scarecrow's involved. It looks like Scarecrow gets like his face burnt off.
I love it,
It
man.
looks crazy. It looks really, really good. I think this was also Kevin Conroy's last.
No, he's not in here.
Is he not? I thought he
think-
was.
Unless he does like an appearance, but he's not playing like Batman. though.
Oh, you're right. He's not. It's not his voice.
Which I was gonna bring that up too, because I'm not really sold on the voice. The guy that's
Yeah.
playing him.
Yeah, now that I remember it, yeah,
I'm not really sold on him.
I thought he was. He's doing something. His voice
could be
is
a
still going to be
cameo.
in something. He could be a cameo.
Yeah, he could be a cameo or something.
Like Christina Ricci is Catwoman.
but- Yep, she's Catwoman.
Yeah,
But
that's the biggest name in here. I think. Oh, Tom Kenny's involved.
Yeah.
John DiMaggio. They're big voice actor guys.
you know, I know this is Tom. I know Bruce Timm is happy because for all his life, you know, for a long time when Batman's
His name wasn't on it, right?
Well, no, it wasn't that, but
No, it's the other guy, Bob Kane.
Bob Kane. But you know, they couldn't do adult Batman episodes. They always tweedled towards that edge. They always went over that edge. They went towards the line, but didn't step over the line.
Yeah, they couldn't
They
push
couldn't
it.
do it. Like Superman almost pushed it when when Darkseid came and killed one of the police officers, killed the detective. That's as far as they could go. They tried their best not to go over that line. And now to see this Batman fully realize now they can go as many leaps and bounds. Now it's not gonna be all bloody and not gonna be like a lot of cussing and stuff.
Yeah,
But just the stories itself would be a lot more adult, which I love.
it looks really good,
I love it
and it's with Amazon. Amazon does put out good stuff.
for the most part.
It's also this is the first time I've seen like a slightly overweight Alfred.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to make it look a little bit realistic. You know, before anyone asks, I know they're gonna ask. Let's just get through the first season first
Yeah.
before we see the Joker. Can we
is
just get
true.
through a first season?
I don't even think we need a Joker at all. Like, I mean, you already got like this new version of Harley Quinn in there.
I know
That's fine enough.
I know.
Yeah, I know because they always want to put Joker, but like focus on the other like more, I don't know, more dramatic villains. You
I
have
just
so
want
many other like villains you could play around with.
I just want
Keep
to get
Joker
through
away.
First season.
We're getting a Joker 2. We're getting a Joker in the Batman universe whenever the second one comes out, if the second one ever comes out.
Might be 6 years by the
Yeah.
time we get that.
Sidebar from the Cape Crusader. you know the Harley Quinn cartoon on HBO. They got a spinoff for the Kite Man character coming out.
I heard about that.
Yeah, and I watched the trailer for that as well. And I'm hoping, like, as far as spinoffs go, I'm hoping it's just like it's a spinoff, but you don't really have to watch it to watch Harley Quinn, because too many properties are trying to do that now, where it's like we're gonna have 3 different TV shows going on at once. But that one looks funny because it seems like the whole premise is like Kite Man and his girlfriend buy like a supervillain pub, and then shenanigans ensue.
Oh, nice.
So I don't know if you ever watched the Harley Quinn series.
I watched a couple episodes.
It's very good.
Yeah.
I'd say I'd definitely recommend going back and like continuing to watch it, because I mean there is like story arcs.
I didn't hate it.
There's progress to it. It's very good.
I didn't hate it. At that time, I didn't have the streaming service.
Yeah, I will say there's something about seeing like supervillains get killed off that is kind of upsetting, because it's like, oh well, you could bring them back at some other point, but nope, you straight killed them.
Like we said earlier, like that was that decade when they used to kill villains in every superhero film. Yeah, they killed Doc Ock and Spider-Man until they retconned it and brought him back.
Yeah, so it's kind of what the Harley Quinn show does. Like once a character is dead, they'll stay dead.
The only character that died in a superhero film that was legit and was understandable was Green Goblin.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, moving on, we have the main piece of the sports segment, James.
Is it?
Maybe not. I don't know. The Hellboy, the Crooked Man. They're making another Hellboy, James. They're rebooted it again.
For what?
With a whole new actor, a whole new story.
Do you know who the actor is?
I'm looking it up.
Because I have no clue.
And apparently this is a big like comic book storyline for a Hellboy too. Apparently, like the Crooked Man is one of the bigger like arcs, I suppose. Let me see. So the premise is, in the 1950s, Hellboy and a rookie BPRD agent stranded in rural Appalachia discover a small community haunted by witches, led by a local devil with a troubling connection to Hellboy's past, the Crooked Man. Not a bad premise. Jack Kesey is Hellboy. Jack Kesey was in The Killer, She-Rose, Without Remorse, Dark Web, Cicada, 3301, The Mosquito State, The Outpost, Blood Brother, Deadpool 2. He was Black Tom Cassidy in Deadpool 2. He was in the Death Wish remake with Bruce Willis. 12 Strong. He was probably a soldier in that one.
Yeah,
he was in the Baywatch movie. Not a lot of...
Not a good hits. Not a big hits.
Which isn't entirely a bad thing. And he's a lesser-known actor, which also isn't entirely...
I mean, well, who else could you tell? Could you get at this point?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you
Ron Perlman's too old. Ron Perlman said he won't be able to do another Hellboy. Like if they did do that third one, he said he's too old to come back and actually do it.
David Harbour, you screwed him over.
Yeah, you messed up David Harbour. You know what's sad is that David Harbour movie is a really solid movie until the end. It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, and you also have so many, like, he fights different monsters. He fights, like, vampire bat guy. He fights trolls.
Well, that's actually according to the comics, though.
Yeah, it's like little mini adventures in this movie. What happened is, James, in the development of that movie, it was all good until the third act. And then, for some reason, the editor and the writer and the director couldn't agree on how to end this film. And so it got totally screwed up by the end of the movie. And that's what screwed it over. It was like in production, there was like squabblings about the third act. And I think maybe at one point they probably fired a writer or two.
Most likely.
In the production, they got screwed over with that one. But otherwise, I really enjoyed that movie.
I enjoyed it too.
And I really enjoyed the original two. I really do.
I enjoyed those too.
I really do wish they would have done the third one.
So let me ask you this. What would make people go out and see this Hellboy?
I don't know. Because if you have... This trailer does not look very good.
No, not even about a little bit.
The trailer for this movie looks like a fan film.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they've done the color correction on it yet, because the coloring is
probably
so dull and gray. And maybe that's the way they're going for this movie. But like,
and Kesey, oh my goodness,
his line delivery is not good.
Oh my goodness, that makeup.
He doesn't look as great as Hellboy. He's also like, well, it's also not like what we're used to, right? Because Ron Perlman looked pretty jacked. David Harbour looked pretty jacked. This one is a scrawnier version of Hellboy, which I mean,
in the comics, he's not that big either.
yeah, that's what somebody said.
Yeah, and he's not that big either, but still, he looks a little bit different. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? He just I don't know, something about the makeup just look off.
yeah. Something about the makeup looks off. Something about the line delivery looks off. It looks like a fan film. And I mean, the premise does have me interested, though. Like, I like the idea of them just being alone in the woods,
Yeah, I
and
like
then
that.
they're fighting witches and this crazy devil guy. That's a good story. It's a small story too. It's not like you don't have to
grounded.
do a bunch of sets. Yeah, very grounded. You don't have to go to a bunch of different locations. It's very. This is what it's like. Evil Dead mixed with Hellboy.
And it's
Right.
independent. It's an independent film because I think Millennium is not really a big company, so it's a small film. Because Lionsgate did the other one. Lionsgate did the last one.
Yeah, Millennium Media.
Yeah, Millennium Media is not like a big time company.
Let me see.
They do a lot of independent.
Oh, they're
films.
famous for Cyborg Cop, the
Yeah.
1993 direct-to-video
Yeah, they do a lot
movie
of
Cyborg
indies.
Cop. Let me see. What's their latest? I got a lot of movies though.
Oh yeah, they
I got
do.
a ton of movies. Holy crap!
Probably not good quality, but yeah.
Yeah, there might also be they did Expendables 4.
Yeah, they did do that. You're right.
They did The Protege.
That's sad. Even when
Oh, they did Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard.
oh god,
What is that? The second one?
that's the last one with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Well,
Joel
he was in the other one too.
Joel likes those movies.
Really?
Yeah. They also did the other Hellboy.
Okay. Oh, okay. So they did the last one.
Yeah. Okay. So they have some notable things on here. Ooh, they did the Leatherface movie. Did I ever watch that one? That's not the other
one on
Chainsaw
Netflix
Massacre. This is different. This is the one before.
Oh, okay. Because the one on Netflix is Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That was horrible.
Oh, it was terrible. I could do a whole one on that one too. A whole story.
Yeah. I mean, we could. I mean, the scene in that movie with him on the bus was probably the best scene in that movie.
Oh
That's
yeah,
about it.
without a doubt.
Let me see. They did a Frankenstein movie in 2015. Oh, that's like one of the newer Frankensteins.
Straight to DVD. I'm assuming.
Could be. I think Millennium Media is most known for the Expendables because they have Expendables 3 on here. They probably did all of them. Oh, Olympus Has Fallen. No, they've got hits and misses.
Oh,
So,
probably a lot more misses, but yeah.
I mean, they did a lot of movies. They got a lot of movies on
If
here.
you got that many movies on your list, most likely you got a lot of misses.
Yeah. Shark Attack 2, direct-to-video.
That's a hit.
The further back you go, the more television and direct-to-video movies they got going on.
Yeah. I know I'm probably not gonna watch Hellboy. I don't see anything different than what you did in the last one.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
you said before we started recording is maybe the fan base just isn't strong enough
It's just not a
for
strong
these
big
live
fan
action
base.
like movies.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Right.
That's fine. Like if you're making it for a niche audience,
Mm-hmm.
make it because you want to make it for a niche audience.
Yeah.
But don't try to make it because we're trying to prove a point that we can do a film,
Yeah.
a great Hellboy film. The
Yeah.
audience might not just really care.
Yeah.
That's all.
You're right. The audience might not. And then also too, it's like what we were talking about with the Henry Cavill and David Corenswet thing, or Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland. People are very upset. Ron Perlman's not attached to these anymore.
Yeah.
People are very upset. Guillermo del Toro never got to do his third movie because
Never.
they ended that second movie off on such like not a cliffhanger per se, but like a very much like open ended. Like there's gonna be a third one.
They were cool movies too.
Yeah, they were really good. Practical effects, costume designs look great. Everything was great about those first two movies, and people are jaded and upset about it.
Yeah, I can understand that.
That hurt the reboot, and that's gonna hurt this.
I can understand that.
So, I mean, we could be totally wrong. This could somehow be a whole hit.
This could be the hit of the summer. It's gonna make 20.
Yeah.
It's gonna make what, $60 million?
Yeah. This could springboard the Dark Horse animated cinematic universe.
Boy, we're gonna eat every last
For all
one
we
of them.
know. This segment sponsored by
The people against vegetarians eating plants. Save the grass, eat some ass.
I'm reminded of something I didn't mention in the Quiet Place review. Was I wanted to state like how much I actually like love cinema, because we went and saw that movie in IMAX, right? And there's just something about just going to the movies, James. I don't
Oh, I
know what
love
it
it.
is. There's something about doing that whole experience. And I know a lot of people are just like, oh, movies are dying. Nobody wants to go see movies anymore. But it's like, yes and no. But like when you go, it's a great experience. It's great, like watching the trailers or like seeing like the pre-show and seeing all the things. The lights go down, the movie comes on. And it's also just great being in an environment where it's like, that's all you're doing is paying attention to this movie.
Me personally, I'll never get tired of going to the movies because I like I said, I have such a passion for it.
It's a film study.
It's a film study, and I watch on YouTube this guy, and I was actually going to share this for the next podcast, but I'll share it now. Since we're talking about going to the movies and the movie experience, this guy on YouTube recorded his entire. It's not just him; it's a couple guys too. It's on YouTube. They started working in the movie theater like around about 95 or 94. They recorded their whole entire life. Oh wow! Of working at the movie theater.
That's incredible.
And they would show different things, the experience of a movie theater, getting tickets and stuff like that at the box office. And this was like 96, 98, 99. Yeah, it's 96, 98, 99, 2000. And I'm like, this is so cool. Yeah, that this guy and it's
he had the wherewithal to do that.
To
document that.
To document all this. And for me personally, I've been going back like this whole week up until today. I've been going back and watching a lot of those videos. And it looks so weird for me to just go back and watch YouTube videos of people just getting tickets, but it'd be like different years. I'm like, this is cool, man.
What's that YouTube channel name?
Let me find it.
Because I don't really watch YouTube in the same way that I used to anymore because it's all like so super produced and stuff now. But like to watch something like that, I would love that.
Yeah. I gotta dig it up. Call me on the spot, Jacob.
Hey man, you brought it up.
Cause hey, you the one started it. Cause you the one talking about doggone movie theater experience. I was like, man, come on, man, don't do this right now.
I know. I was gonna bring it up in the Quiet Place review because I don't know. It's just like sitting down, like when that movie was starting and it was like first coming on. I was like, I love this. This is great. This is a good experience. Because like we could have waited for that to come out on streaming, but then like then we would have been on our couch. Like I don't know, Khadijah would have been playing Sims or something. Mm-hmm. You know, I would have been occasionally scrolling my phone, like not really fully paying attention, but kind of paying attention.
Well, it's always like that. I mean, when I hear this, one of our friends that we used to work with back in the day, he's an older gentleman, and he'd always talk about the movie theater experience and talk about how it was back in the day. I do understand what he's saying because I feel that same way sometimes. I just like you just enjoy going to the movies. It's the smell of popcorn.
It's the whole experience, and sometimes the movie doesn't even matter.
No, it doesn't even matter. Yeah,
it's the whole process and experience of it.
Like I can tell you every member. Like watching this YouTube channel, it brought back so many memories for me as a kid because I went to the movies so often in my life. That's all I ever went to. You know, I didn't really go anywhere else. So to see this guy document his entire 90s and all the way up to 2000s, and it wasn't just him, it was just multiple people because I went down like one of those rabbit holes,
right? And
I was just like, man, this guy's just let me see if I can find it. This guy's documented his whole life working at a movie theater. It was like an AMC movie theater, and I think one of them was in Texas, the other one was in maybe in California and Florida. Let's see, here we go. This guy is called Vampire Robot, and he has his whole 90s life just captured right there. He has going to the movies.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. I visited Sears with mom in 1977.
It's cool, man. It's like, this is dope.
I'm going to watch this.
Yeah, you should.
453 videos. It's like a little time capsule.
Yeah. It's like, who gets the wherewithal to do that with their life? Oh, you know what I watched too also on YouTube? Guys that go into malls and abandoned movie theaters.
Oh, yeah. I watched that too. I've seen a couple of those videos. Those are neat. Those are real interesting.
I actually saw when they came to Houston and they went to Northwest Mall.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was abandoned Northwest Mall.
Oh, man. It reminds me of a story I have of going to the Greenspoint Mall with Isaac when we were looking for suits. Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, Greenspoint Mall is not abandoned.
But it's close.
It's close to it.
It's close.
It's close to it. Yeah, we went looking for suits one time. You know, obviously right before the wedding, because I think Isaac's suit was the last one we needed to get. So we went looking for, because apparently gray suits, there's apparently 1,000 different gray colors. And anyway, so we went looking for like a very specific gray suit. I think we had Richard's suit with us as like a reference.
Yeah, I remember that.
And we went to like Greenspoint Mall because there was, obviously there were suit stores. We were looking for Suit Mart. We went up that way because there was another Suit Mart over there.
Oh yeah, it was.
And they didn't have the type of gray that we needed. So we're like, oh, let's go check out Greenspoint. And man, like that place, there was like so many empty stores. There was
without a
barely
doubt.
anybody there. We walked into a suit store, and the guy who worked there was just so happy that we walked.
Guys
in.
got some business,
Yeah,
man.
he was like customers, and then we ended up leaving out without a suit.
Isn't there a T-Mobile store too? If I'm not mistaken.
I don't
Still in
remember
there.
seeing one.
Oh,
but-
that's probably going to. Is they still got a food court?
yeah, but it's empty. There's nothing there. There's no food in the food court. There's no like
it's still
there's a
standing.
theater section, but
Yeah.
obviously the theater is not open.
I used to go to that theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I got a story on that one too.
It was so weird just like seeing this weird half dead mall because it's like it yeah, it was such a bizarre experience.
So that theater there used to be called Premier Theater,
yeah.
and they were like up and coming theater chain.
Mm-hmm.
And since we're talking about movie theater experience, and at that time when Kimber was pregnant, we went to the movies, and I don't know what happened. Now this is not funny in gist, but
Yeah.
it happened. She ended up passing out.
Oh no.
She passed out inside the theater, and we were going to see Ghostbusters,
Oh.
2016 Ghostbusters.
Oh no.
She told me I never want to come back here again. I never want to come back here again. Like I had our nachos and hot dogs, and like we had a crap load of food because she was eating for two.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, so what do I do now? I held her as much as I possibly could. I dropped the food and everything. And when we got in the what's it called, the ambulance, they were like, "Do you want your food?" We both looked like, "No." What the hell are we gonna do with the food? So yeah, that was a fun experience. I'm
Wow.
glad that place is tore down. I'm glad that place is tore down too.
Yeah.
We were both hella embarrassed.
That's funny. That's not funny.
It's funny now. It's funny
It's
now.
funny in hindsight,
it's
but
funny
yeah,
in
what a
hindsight.
story. Those nachos knocked her out, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Whatever was in that cheese.
That was hilarious.
Oh man. Well, that's about all I got for this episode. I just wanted to go out on that little soliloquy of how great the movie theater experience is. And
Also, another guy, plug his stuff too. 90s grunge dreams.
90s grunge dreams.
Yeah, he's another guy that goes back in time capsule for movie theaters.
Oh, yeah, I gotta check these out. I don't something about seeing like regular YouTube people now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know, because like YouTube has become so produced and
yeah.
whatnot, right? But seeing these old school style videos of just like dude in a camera, it's like you know
Bad
he doesn't have
quality.
proper lighting or like the
Yep.
quality is not perfect. Something about that really makes me enjoy like YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because that's what YouTube was, right? It's like the DIY, just
it
getting
used to be,
started kind of stuff.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check the stuff out. Thank you, because I mean, I barely watch anything on YouTube anymore. Like I really just watch movie trailers and that's about it.
That's all I watch on YouTube, man.
So yeah, I'll have to check these channels out. Thank you. So, but hey, that's officially all we got today, guys. So if you want to email us, you can email us on thegopod2023@gmail.com. Let us know what you thought about Quiet Place if you saw it. Let us know what you thought about any of the movie trailers we talked about today. Hellboy was a Childish Gambino, and then Batman Cape Crusader. Email us what you thought about those. Let us know what you think about the in real life viral marketing for movies and how like low key and interesting that is. That's kind of it's weird because it's like manipulation in a way, but it's also like clever. So let us know what you think about that kind of stuff. And if you want to follow us, you can follow us on Instagram at On The Go with Jacob and James. It's all one word. You can find James on Instagram at
James9794.
You can find me on Instagram at jacobdantone.audio. And as always, please follow us on YouTube or subscribe to us on YouTube. It's On The Go with Jacob and James. Again, all one word. We got episodes coming out every Monday and Friday, and we have clips coming out on Wednesdays and Sundays. And without further ado, I'm on the go. James is on the go. We're all on the go.
Better step up.